You're missing shots. And no, it's not because you're trash. And it's not because you have sausages instead of fingers like your teammates say when you miss a free kill. It is actually easy to understand. We're diving into the 7 reasons why you keep missing your snipes. The first mistake is bad movement. When you use a single shot weapon, everything needs to be set up perfectly. If it isn't, you miss. Here's the physics. If you slide peek, you travel a certain distance at a certain speed. You have to place your crosshair before you move, so it lines up after you move. This applies to everything. The jump, the slide jump, the dolphin jump, the wall slide, everything comes down to this alignment. If you aren't comfortable doing that yet, that's fine. Rely on the basics. Use a simple sprint to fire cancel instead of a slide ADS. Play it slow at first. The speed will come naturally. Pro tip, go play 1v1s. This is probably the only time 1v1s are useful. Since both players have snipers, it is the best way to train your movement without getting sprayed. The second mistake I see is what I call panic shooting. When you see an enemy, you try to shoot as fast as possible. You stop caring about your blank scope timing. You stop caring about your sprint to fire. You end up firing without barely ADSing. Because you aren't aiming enough, your shot won't be accurate at all. Instead of trying to shoot fast no matter what, you need to shoot fast with accuracy. Here's the rhythm. Either slide or sprint to fire cancel, aim, wait for that juicy timing you have been learning in the training room, then shoot. That gets you the kill. Obviously, the closer you are, the less you need to aim. I'm not teaching you anything new here, but people tend to forget their blank scope timing when they panic, and that is exactly when it is the most important. But sometimes that panic happens because you've been grinding ranked for 3 hours and your brain is just fried. If you feel like the mobile games you're playing are giving you actual brain rot, you need to stop and pick this up. This is Rubik's Wow Cube, and I think I found the cure. It looks like a classic 2x2 Rubik's Cube, and yes, you can solve it like one if you want, but it's actually a smart gaming device with 8 separate mini computers and 24 screens. Instead of mindless tapping, it builds actual cognitive skills like memory and focus. Here are my top 3 games for it. Number 3 is track record. You have to drive a car in 3D space by physically rotating the cube to build a road in front of it. Number 2 is steam pipes. You have to fix the leaks by twisting the sides to connect the pipeline. It demands real fine motor skills. And number 1 is crossword. The twist is you literally twist the cube to align the letters and pass the level. It's STEM.org certified, so believe it or not, it's technically an educational product. That's why people are calling it the toy of the year. But honestly, the unboxing tells a different story. It comes fully loaded with a dock, a carrying bag, a cleaning cloth, and a full charging setup. With a kit like that, it's easily the gadget of the year for me. It's designed to be durable and drop safe for gaming on the go. It connects to your phone via Bluetooth for updates and over 60 more apps, and you can customize it even further. So if you want to cure the brain rot and get something that actually sharpens the mind, this is the must-get gift for anyone on your list. They are on sale now and shipping in time for the holidays. Check the link in the description to grab one. The third mistake is your sensitivity. If it is too high, you have zero tracking ability. You can't hold a comfortable hard scope at long range. If it is too slow, you lose your flicking ability beyond a certain point. Yes, speed acceleration will help with low sensitivity, but that makes your aim rely on your thumb speed. Unless you're a pro player, no one can manage that perfectly. Your camera sensitivity is just as important because it controls your crosshair placement. Too slow means you can't track enemies dynamically in close range. Too fast means you have insane reactivity up close, but zero accuracy at mid-range. You need to find the sweet spot and you are good to go. You want it fast enough to turn 180 degrees if they slide behind you, but slow enough that you can keep the crosshair on their chest at long range. The fourth thing I see, and I see it in pretty much everyone, is lazy crosshair placement. You tell yourself, I don't think there will be an enemy here, so I don't care. That is how you die. The concept of crosshair placement is to be already ready, even if you think the room is empty. You need to put your crosshair where someone might peek, even if you think no one will be there. Aim at around chest or stomach level. Why? To avoid hit markers if someone happens to be there. Stop being lazy. Play an LMG if you wanna be lazy. The most common thing among snipers is they know a good slide peek can end up in a kill. That, my friends, is called ego. And an ego player will always do what we call an ego challenge. Basically, an ego challenge is taking an unnecessary and disadvantageous gunfight for absolutely no reason. You do it just so if you get the kill, you can say, oh, that guy got smoked. Yes, it is satisfying when it works. But how many times does it actually work? 5% of the time? Tops. So sit back, regenerate your health rather than re-peeking brainlessly. Play off angles, and rotate when the gunfight isn't worth taking. This is particularly true in Search and Destroy. The sixth mistake is not knowing your blank scope timing. This goes back to mistake number 2, but generalized to every shot you take. First thing to know, blank scoping isn't a must. If the enemy isn't a direct threat to you, take your time. Hard scope them. But if he is a threat, you need to be able to blank scope. And that simply comes from one thing, the training room. Go in there, learn that timing, try to see if you are consistent. And if you are, go back in game. If you're not, stay in the training room. This takes 1 to 10 minutes. Once in a while, you will die because you missed that timing. This is fine. But if it starts happening too much, go back to the training room and redo the process. One thing to note, if your usual sniper gets an aim down sight time or sprint to fire time change, whether it's a buff or a nerf, it is mandatory that you go into the training room. You have to get comfortable with the new timing. This is also true if you try to learn a new sniper, unless it has the same stats and animation as your previous one, like the DLQ and Locus, which are highly similar. The last mistake is common when you are new to sniping, not anticipating movement. We're talking about where to aim for your shot to actually hit. If the enemy is moving from the right to the left, put your crosshair a little more to the left than where he is. When you use a full auto weapon, you need to be right on the guy the whole time. But with a sniper, you need to be right on the guy only when you shoot. While that doesn't seem like a huge difference, having that in mind makes you a much more accurate sniper. You're finally fixing your snipes, but 2026 is going to be harder. There's still one secret holding you back from dominating the lobby. The enemies winning your gunfights already know it. Click this video to find out what it is.